The trash cans. All right. I mean, that was fun. A lot of former Cats, not just from last year's team, but over the years, introducing the newest Cats. And we'll have these new Cats in the three-point contest. Here's the list. Davion Mintz, Isaiah Jackson, Terrence Clark, Devin Askew, Olivier Sarr, Dante Allen, B.J. Boston, Cameron Fletcher, and Keon Brooks Jr. Some of these guys can stroke it. Some of them won't get much of a chance in the game. Davion Mintz is going to start stroking. We got a late scratch for Isaiah Jackson. So he got some shots up, but he's not going to compete. So we got to focus on Mintz, a grad transfer from Creighton.
He's heated up. Oh, man.
Carolyn, watch his feet. He lands not more than 2 or 3 inches outside the jump spot. He got very consistent footwork. I know you love that. That's you build the shot from the ground up.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. If you can get consistency with your feet, then you work up through your legs, hips, and then that arm. You get that elbow down, extension, flick of the wrist. That's pretty.
35% from behind the arc for Creighton in his career. Got to get back on track after a couple of misses here. There are no rounds to this. We're just going to put shots up, and then the leading scorer will take home the title. Got 6 seconds left. Yeah, last rack.
Yeah, he's been going a little slow.
Gotta have to hurry.
Yeah, the money ball's important. There you go.
That's a veteran move. Reach for the money ball first. You don't have to do it at the end of the rack. He says, give me my point.
Win ball games this year, as will this next guy, by the way.
All right, so Isaiah got to get a couple up to get warm.
Well, he only needs a couple in this building. 7, you got problems running offense.
All right, here we go. Isaiah Jackson says, I'm in. I got some shots up to warm up on one side. Now I'm on the side where the buckets count. Freshman from Pontiac, Michigan. I have in my notes Jimmy Sleeper next to his name. Now, I don't expect him to be a three-point threat, but then again, nobody's guarding him right now. But we've been wildly impressed with his performance before the games have started.
Yeah, he has wild talent, Tom. And this is a guy that, you know, from 12 feet and in, he can put it on the floor with quickness and get to the rim off the bounce. He can rebound shots outside of his wingspan. You do not have to run plays for Isaiah Jackson. I think he'll be in that starting lineup game 1. He has been the surprise of Kentucky in that freshman class during fall camp. And again, he can make some trail threes. That's not his deal, but the shot doesn't look bad. It's not broken at all mechanically.
Usually when you say a guy has a high motor that's making up for other deficiencies, that's just one of the things that he brings to the table. Got the last shot up, and Isaiah Jackson's going to put a 12-point effort on the board here.
Now, hearing Coach Calipari talk about Terrence Clark, he says the sky's the limit for this young man. Says he's got a huge ceiling, a total huge upside.
Well, he's an athletic freak is what he is. At 6'7", can run and jump really with anyone in the freshman class across the country. Again, his strength right now is going by his initial defender, getting to the paint. He's making good decisions. The shot's going to come from distance. But he's learning how to work, and Cal has been on number 5 the past month to get the casual bad habits out of his game. And then once he takes that next step, then number 5's game will go to a whole nother level.
And that last 2 rounds might be a microcosm of his start here at Kentucky. Didn't make a shot in the second rack, made every shot on the third rack. And once he finds his footing, figuratively and literally, as Carolyn said, sky's the limit for him.
But he's losing time. He ran around the rack instead of just coming to the side where it is and picking it up from that left side.
Finish with a flourish, knocking down the money ball. But one point that he's made to ask you in practice is they're going to start by going under the screen on you. And if they're going to go under, you're going to have an opportunity to knock down some shots.
And I think he will. And you're exactly right. The scouting report early will be go underneath any ball screen on number 2. But Askew's a kid that works his tail off now. He lives in that gym. He understands the hours that it's going to take. I think from just a true form standpoint, he shoots the ball from that point guard spot maybe as well as Cal's had in the last several years at that situation. But what's amazing to me, Carolyn, he should be a senior in high school, and now he's going to be running the offense at Kentucky with that voice of John Calipari wearing him out every day. I think he's mentally tough to handle it, physically tough to handle it. He's going to be a real pleasure to watch grow into that spot.
Well, it says a lot about his maturity to be reclassified, really supposed to be a senior in high school right now. But watching him shoot, this is the slowest I have seen him in any of the practices that I've seen.
Right.
Because he normally goes 110 miles an hour.
Very deliberate, trying to work his way around the horn. And this one, last shot, will not count, but he's going to get his shots up. Let's just ignore the buzzer.
Tom, I reclassified before reclassified was cool.
In any language, he is prime for a big season. Wake Forest transfer, played for Danny Manning there, and the Bordeaux, France native brings a lot of athleticism to the 5 position.
Check out the 7-footer hit the full rack. First time out.
I will tell you this, Tom, I think we mentioned it last week. During the month of September, the 2 best shooters from three-point line, Davion Mintz and Olivier Sarr.
Only 2 misses through the first 2 racks for Sarr. He finished his Wake Forest career on a tear. Last couple of ACC games he put up 55 points and 20 boards over his last 2, and that was against Notre Dame and Duke.
He's from a large town in France, Toulouse, over 1.5 million people.
Learned that one the hard way,
A lot of
didn't
folks
we?
think that's a small town. They are wrong. It is a city, a thriving city. Uh-oh, air ball from the far corner.
Got to pick it back up. Money ball. What a round by Sarr. He finishes with.
Someone told him that?
We should run down the
He may
floor
miss
and let
every
him know.
shot with that kind of pressure.
Look, I handicapped this. Like I said, you got to look at past performances. We're in horse racing
country.
country.
How does he do in the heat? I think that we need to know that, because the climate's key for all the horses.
Well, you have to see when he works up his lather, he's getting into that mode. He's getting into his rhythm.
He's 18th Mr. Basketball in the state of Kentucky to sign with the Cats, coming off of a torn ACL his senior year.
Tom, if he's going to play, he has to make open shots from the perimeter. He's developing, putting the ball on the floor and learning how to defend and all those things. When Cal puts him in, can you go in and make shots and make some guarded shots? If he does, he'll have a valuable spot in Cal's rotation.
And he would be a specialty player in that regard, because there's really nobody else who's going to be on the floor just to shoot the ball. Clock running out.
Dante! Oh!
It's just too much pressure. It's not his fault.
No, but we appreciate Carolyn contributing to these.
The State of California Male Athlete of the Year, by the way.
How many of those do they give out?
4. No matter what happens on the first rack, you can't be first rack sensitive.
Okay.
Good or bad, you got to put it behind you and get on with it. That's the huge key in any three-point competition I've ever been a part of.
So you're saying you've got to have that amnesia from the first rack.
Well, you can't. Yeah, you just can't remember it. You got to go on.
Remember, he reclassified in 8th grade, so he may not know what that word means. We're using big words for Jimmy. All right, Brandon's got to finish hot if he wants to climb into this. Davion Mintz, the leader with 22, the first shooter to go, knocked down the most. He's got 13 seconds left. And it won't be enough to catch Mintz. Let's see how he does on the final rack. All right, well, Jimmy's got the lead.
You've been around me long enough to know that.
It's true. Fletcher played at an elite program in St. Louis, Vashon High School. They put guys in the NBA left and right. Anthony Bonner was the great to come out of Vashon.
Came down to Kentucky and Michigan State at the end for Cameron Fletcher. Right now he fights and he fouls, and he does both, though, at a really high level. He's a fighter defensively, not afraid of contact, fouling too much in practice right now. Cal's trying to get out of him, but he could impact this Kentucky team. A guy that can guard that 2 through 4 position and guard him really well.
Yeah, he's 6'6", right now 215 coming into his freshman season. Everybody on the floor for Kentucky outside the point guard seemed to be 6'6", 6'7", with the 7-footer in the middle. They got length.
defense will be an added plus for the Wildcats. When you've got to go pass the ball or try to move your offense around their length, that's going to be difficult.
That is a great point. That's a long team. That wing position through that center position, 6'7" to 7 foot.
I'm a big cheerleader right now for Keon Brooks, just so that we can beat Jimmy Dykes.
Yeah.
It's just one round, right? We don't go to like the playoff. This is it.
This is it. We're just going by the final total. And Brooks is behind on Mintz right now.
I love Keon Brooks. I hope he ends up with 21.
He's been battling a calf injury. He's been limited in practice the last couple of weeks. He'll do most of the drills, but they're holding him out of 5-on-5 action so far.
Okay, he's looking good.
You know, Carol, this is a kid that he really does a little bit of everything on both ends of the floor for Calipari when he's healthy. He can jackhammer you at the rim. I know you're familiar with that from your hotel stay last night, Coach.
The construction on Rupp Arena, it's the lullaby that put me to sleep last night.
We were there last week, and Tom said, don't call Carolyn and tell her, let her find out. I was going to call and tell you, and Tom said, no, don't.
I appreciate it, fellas. Thanks.
Team players. And Brooks will put up a 14 spot.
Who won?
Davion Mintz. Harris.
Yep, I got you.
All right. Fantastic round.
Appreciate it.
At any point after you finished your round, were you nervous that somebody else was going to eclipse you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, once I shot the girls' ball, I got super nervous after the air ball, but, I mean, luckily I got away with the win.
Wait, we had a women's-sized ball on the rack?
We had a women's ball, man.
Oh, great shooters, no. The 28.5 or whatever it might be. Davion, talk to us about your introduction to this Kentucky program after your years at Creighton. What have you had to adjust to?
I mean, just, you know, playing with really athletic guys. I mean,
3 contestants in this one. Let's take a look. Isaiah Jackson, Lance Ware, and Jacob Toppin. Carolyn, you get first pick. Who you got?
I'm going Jacob Toppin. Anybody that Coach Cal describes as bouncy,
Yep.
that's my pick when it comes to the dunk contest.
Good pick. His brother, Obi, who was drafted this week in the first round, he led the nation in dunks last year at Dayton. I'm going with Isaiah Jackson. His first dunk came in 8th grade. Jimmy, you get no choice, but Lance is all yours. All right, Isaiah will get us started.
Upsets happen. Oh, good.
Wow, from a step inside the line. That is a strong start.
On the free throw line. Yes.
Back heel on the line and a windmill.
My goodness, with a over 7-foot wingspan. How about this? He's the fastest Kentucky Wildcat from the baseline to the... Lance Ware, he might be shook right now in that far corner. He's my guy, but he might be shook. Yeah, well.
We got plenty of time. We got 30 seconds. I like the design.
Teamwork.
Ashew's got to give him a good pass off the side.
He's going for a degree of difficulty.
You should tell him C's get degrees. 5 seconds left. Last chance. Can he do it?
Well, that was Askew's fault. That was a horrible pass, and he's a point guard.
All right. It's like one of my golf scores. We're just going to pick up and walk off. Jacob Toppin transferred in from Rhode Island. This is Carolyn's pick. Get ready to be wowed.
You got to believe he and his brother have had some sibling competition. Ooh.
Yeah, dunking runs in the family. His dad's 40. This is Carolyn's pick. Get ready to be wowed.
You got to believe he and his brother have had some sibling competition. Ooh.
Yeah, dunking runs in the family. His dad's 40 and still throwing down dunks. That was insane. He just went between his legs.
And I say bouncy.
He said bouncy. We got a 48 first round for Jacob.
He spun and took it between his legs and had plenty of room. I don't know. That's a tie to me.
That's what. See if Isaiah can wow us again. Yaka! When you make it look so easy, when you rock the cradle and just make it look like you're walking down the sidewalk, an 8? We get 2 9s, 2 8s. We're waiting for one more score to come in.
Man, you talk about putting your chin on the rim. This kid is right there. I just get out of here healthy right now.
I'm telling you, just take it easy and finish the night.
Did you get a final number on Isaiah's second dunk?
My guy's struggling here. He's got to get a dunk off. Well, he's got a Big Ten, Big East body though that I love. There you go. Yes, sir.
Bam Bam firepower on that one.
Okay, his teammates like that one a little bit.
That was a real Tom Hart golf scorecard.
Yeah, it was.
Well
we got
done.
Snowmen, we got some 7s.
I like this guy's game. He knows how to play. Vicious as a screener, not afraid to bang you. Like he's.
Oh, pump fake.
Oh,
It's just. I would put a manager out there.
You guys are too nervous.
oh, you gotta hurry.
Time is ticking. You like?
You know, I saw him do that in a scrimmage on a breakaway, take off and spin.
It's a chance to get the spotlight. That was impressive, I got to say.
I was used to try all the time last year, and I finally got it to go this year. So, I mean, it was a good dunk.
It's a great dunk. It was a 50. Good score.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, a lot of times people think that you're just a defensive player. With a dunk like that, though, that's got to add to a part of your offensive game.
Of course. Whenever it's a fast break and I'm there, I mean, it's going to be showtime. So, stay ready.
Isaiah, we